Welcome to the dojo, baby.
This is Joe Doe.
Welcome to the dojo, baby.
This is Joe Doe.
Welcome to the Zoom food.
Yeah. Step and wipe your feet. This a focus on. White
This
belt
podcast
tied
brought
tight
to
with
you
my
by
fully
Emotional
grown body.
Damage. Get into presentation mode. This is the breakfast that Joe Rogan's guest talks about. It's like a microwaved egg. So I take 3 eggs, you beat them, you put mayonnaise, you beat it, and then you put like ham, cheese, olive oil, whatever you want to put on it, and then like you beat it, and then you put it in the microwave for 2.5 minutes, and then it comes out great.
But isn't it dry to eat?
No, because it has mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is the
Nice.
secret ingredient.
Nice.
Yeah, it makes it like creamy or nice. But anyways, because I make these eggs all the time. So, but I started doing them like 4 days ago, and the first time I did it, I was like, wow, that's delicious.
Yeah, and you can cook it under 5 minutes. Maybe just beat eggs and mayonnaise are already something that you don't have to. How do you cook ham though? It has to be cooked properly, right? Before you can consume it.
No, this is salami. We buy it in the store.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I don't know in your country, but here we have like.
Frozen stuff. Aisles of frozen food.
Well, it's not. It's the refrigerated. We have it's like the dairy and the. So basically, so it's like all the types of like sliced meat. So it's salami, then bologna. It's like all these mixture of meats, prepackaged.
Yeah.
Prepackaged meats. They have that over there. Don't they have Walmart there?
Yeah, it's available in India, but it's not very popular because as per Ayurveda and all the naturopathy, you should be consuming all the food that is high in pranic energy. High in pranic energy means the food that is still alive, meaning if I put the food that I'm eating into garden soil, it should have that prana, the life force that it can grow into a life itself. So which is why a lot of people in India, if you see, they are not just vegetarians, they wouldn't eat food where they actually have to extract the plant, like which grows underground, like garlic or onion.
I think you're generalizing a little bit too much, Meenakshi. Like all Indians eat like wholesome food like all the time. No, that's not true. That's not
Yeah.
true. India has billions of people, and you're not gonna tell me, oh, all Indians in India, everybody does yoga and eats Ayurvedic in a like only food that's alive, because this is the way that Indian people are, because we are much better than everybody else, and we
No,
yoga
absolutely not.
and
But
that's what you're implying, though. I don't know if you noticed it. That's what you're implying. In India, we only eat food that's alive, that has chronic.
No, please don't get me wrong here. India has a large, population who is non-vegetarian as well. It's just that what I'm trying to tell you, the intensity of vegetarianism. People don't even eat food where they have to kill plants. Like, you can pluck flower, you don't have to kill tree, but garlic is something you have to uproot and the plant dies actually. So some cultures, not everyone, everyone.
The mid the small, you're talking about probably like a really small amount of the population in India.
Yes, they are.
That are vegetarians and like eat really, really well. Like because yeah.
I'm just talking about the extremism. There's a specific community who
I'm gonna look this up. How many people in India eat McDonald's? I'm gonna look this up right now.
100%, I'm pretty sure.
Exactly. And you're like him, and I'm like, I made my eggs and stuff, and like, okay, in our supermarkets we have prepackaged meat, and you're like, well, in India we only eat food that's alive.
No, absolutely not. I did not mean to say that. I said it's less popular. Less popular as in we don't have those hacks or technology to make sure that it's good. Even if it's available, it's not good quality. I'm in favor of like super quick meals, because Indian quick cooking is like really time consuming.
Right.
And some people eat 3 meals. they're like spend their entire lifetime in kitchen. I am totally against. I am not like that. You should eat vegetarian, this kind of food. I mean, anything which is quick so that you can give your time to productivity and work. Otherwise, life is all about food.
Yeah, no, I actually I just bought a bunch of vegetables yesterday because I'm getting ready to go on a 90-day run and I noticed my energy levels were low, so I had to like consume like a Celsius, like the energy drink. I find myself having to drink that in the middle of the day to go out and outdoors. So I bought a bunch of vegetables, so I'm doing like a cleanse at the same time. And you like kimchi? Kimchi is like a Korean cabbage, fermented Korean cabbage.
No, I haven't tried it.
Okay, well,
I
it
don't.
makes you go, it makes you go poop. It makes you go. So yesterday I had some and it cleansed me out, what I'm saying? I was able to have like really nice, like, it's like, what is it?
I had
What Belinda said. I just had acupuncture
acupuncture.
and late afternoon, early evening crack can be tied to the liver. I think that, I don't know if this is really like understandable to my eyes. Do you understand what she said?
Well, I can tell you, I didn't know you were going to read it out loud. Hi, guys. So I can't go be on video today because I'm back at the beach and I don't have Wi-Fi that will allow video. But what I was saying is I went to go do acupuncture and it was my first experience and they were asking me all these different questions. And one of the questions was, is there any time during the day that you feel like you get tired? And I'm like, I do. I didn't really know exactly what time it was. And the gentleman said, oh, well, because I said I thought it was around 4, but really it was around 5:30, 6 o'clock. And he was saying, between 5 and 7. And it wasn't the circadian rhythm, but I forget what he called it. I'm sure that there's somebody watching or maybe one of you know, but between 5 and 7, it could be tied to your liver. And so he did different points around that. So
Isn't this why they invented Dr. Pepper? Like, so you get a pep around like 1.
Oh yeah. In the health world, Dr. Pepper is often prescribed.
Really? Really? Or yeah, I mean, I'm sure in the 50s or the 40s, like, they prescribed this actually.
Probably.
Yeah, but you know what? Like these actually have like some medicinal thing to them because like Coca-Cola has like coca leaf, and then so it's probably like it's Coca-Cola is like it's like hemp, like it's like CBD for Coke. You understand the comparison?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because like CBD is like it's like marijuana without the psychoactive ingredient, and then Coca-Cola is like Coke without the psychoactive ingredient.
This one was actually named after, I had to research, of course. It was named after Dr. Charles Pepper. So that was his last name.
Yeah, but I remember their marketing. I read this somewhere. Their marketing, what that they designed it specifically for the early afternoon crash. Yeah, I don't know if yeah. So basically, oh snap! All right, it's live with. So I read that somewhere where like it was designed specifically for that.
That's so interesting. Who knew we were going to talk about Dr. Pepper today?
Yeah.
Hey, I think this portion should be.
Oh yeah, this is brought to you by Warren Buffett, the owner of
Dr. Pepper.
Coca-Cola and Dr. Pepper. Wait, is Dr. Pepper Pepsi or Coke? Pepsi or Coke? Let me see. Oh, it's not owned by either Pepsi or Coke. It's owned by Keurig, Dr. Pepper. Damn.
Look at that. So it's not sponsored by Warren Buffett.
It's not, no. Who owns Dr. Pepper?
So for those of you tuning in, this is what happens when you have researchers on a call.
Yeah, I am my own Jamie. I am Joe Rogan and Jamie together.
That's Dr. Keurig.
I knew Menashe was also investigating. Like all we're doing is investigating. And then you have the audience, which energetically they're like us. So everyone is researching Dr. Pepper right now. And all of a sudden they're gonna have a surge.
Oh yeah. We're gonna I'm gonna title this Dr. Is Dr. Pepper owned by Warren Buffett? Clickbait, and then like we're gonna title it and do all the SEO for that, and then we're gonna put ads on it, like on the podcast, and then it's gonna and then we should invest in Dr. Pepper, and then like we're gonna talk about Dr. Pepper, and then
we'll have a Netflix series.
Yeah. we're gonna make Dr. Pepper stock go way high, and then we should invest in it. So Belinda, Meenakshi, tell all your let's invest in Dr. Pepper and let's make the price of the stock go to the moon.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's-
But don't release this podcast, otherwise we'll be charged for insider trading.
No, it's not insider trading because we're gonna it's different. This is a gray area. This is called artificially inflating the stock price. And this is not illegal. No,
Good.
it's not illegal. This is like a pump and dump scam. So we're gonna like pump and dump it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, have you guys heard about this? Like when if you start like a Bitcoin, like a new crypto coin, and then you like promote it, and then it grows really high, and then it's called a rug pull. Like when you pull the rug on all your investors, so you promote, people buy into it, and then you just take all the money everybody put into it, and now you're like a billionaire.
Yeah.
And then you take the money and you vanish.
And you vanish. Yeah. Or
This will be the last episode of the Inner Circle.
Oh
I
yeah.
knew it.
Yeah,
By just appearing on Joe's podcast, I'll be a millionaire one.
No, but this is good though. This is good though that you guys are here because next week I actually did invitations because like I experimenting how long can I get away with not inviting new people to the podcast, and this is about it because like Monday like I had like one guy show up, and then today is you guys, which I love, but like we should be at least 4, 5, 6 people.
Yep.
Yeah, so next week I invited a lot more people, but I'm actually looking at like a restructuring now because like Andriana left. I don't know what's wrong with her. She like wanted a certain connection with me that I wasn't able to give her. She kind of like broke up with me. She just said she's like, hey, if you want like a deep connection, yeah, I'm here. I'm like, yo, like I don't like people forcing like a deep connection on me.
What does it even mean? What's a deep connection?
I don't know. She just wanted me like be vulnerable with her and just like talk to her more, I guess. And I'm like I don't really like it when people try to like force themselves into having like a deep connection with me. Like you're trying to make me be vulnerable with you. And she's very like rough and tough, so it's like I know I will get my feelings hurt just by being her friend if I'm like really vulnerable with her. So I was like, I didn't want any part of that. And then she just like quit the group, and like she's unjoining every single like Facebook chat that I started that she was in it, and I'm like, what the hell? Like she's going through all these things to separate herself from me. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, I don't understand it, but
Well, it sounds like she has her own stuff going on, but
maybe,
that's all right.
yeah, maybe. So with that being said, like she brought in a bunch of people like on. So because she's a leader, so she was bringing like you, Belinda. Like if you leave, like whoever, like Ryan will leave and stuff like that, Which he's not here with us anymore. So, but it made me think about like what's the next level here? What's the next level? Because like obviously the people who start with you, they're not gonna be the ones who get to the top with you. So I'm thinking right now, okay, this is a good part to stop and just reflect on like what's the next level, how are we gonna go from here. So like I deleted, I removed from the group like people who were like super inactive, and now it's like time to grow again. So I'm gonna be inviting again and growing and seeing what happens, what kind of people we attract now coming forth. And yeah, I started working. So in the beginning I wasn't working. So now I factor that in where like I have to like tie it into the schedule. But I find it and then this is the topic we get into. I find myself in that place where that analogy with the rocks and the sand where like you put like the big rocks in, and if you put like if there's a sand in the small rocks, then the big rocks don't fit, but if you put the big rocks in first, then the smaller rocks and the sand, everything fits in the container. So let's talk about that, because that's what I've been experiencing lately. Like I'm actually putting in the big rocks in, and then everything else I'm just kind of like smoothing it out and seeing how it fits into the light, into the container of life.
But can I share something with you? Because I think this has to do with what you're talking about.
Sure.
But so I've been building my community since 2018, and I didn't even know I was building a community when I first did it.
Right.
And what ended up happening is I would open it. It was different than what you're doing, but I would open up an accountability group. I'm going to use Dr. Joe Dispenza because that's been the biggest one. So I opened up the group, and the first time that I did it, I had like 100 people sign up to be a part of the accountability group.
Mm.
Then we would get together and we would meet on a Zoom once a week, but we were all in this location together so I could see the 100 people. Very quickly, during the first week, after everybody would join in, it would be the same people responding. And it was 5 people.
Mm.
And I quickly found out, I don't know if you've heard about the strangest secret with the 5%, but it's really the 5% is so huge because it's not even just about the 5% of people that like to do personal development. Apparently, 5% is like a huge thing around a whole bunch of different circumstances. Like, I love camping. I think everyone in the whole world must love camping. It's 5% of the population that loves camping, I found out. So when I stopped caring about, oh my God, 100 people are here, why isn't everybody participating, and recognizing, oh, it's just about the 5%, I was able to build. And so the 5% grew because as I got another 100 people that came in, from that, 5 people were really putting in the time and effort. And if you look at this, I don't know how many people you've had total that have come on to this podcast space, but if you look at the people, I don't know, like if I was to just guess, because of me being on it with you, I don't go on Mondays, but it seems like there's been maybe 20 or 25 people that have come on and left or come in or whatever. And then I've seen consistently, I think I've seen 3 or 4 people. So if you did that mathematically, I think you're at the 5% and it will just grow.
Right, yeah, and then it's 2 separate groups because the Monday is Spanish. That's only in Spanish. So this is a separate group. That's one I'm struggling with the most because I know you've seen it. Like I've had like 17, 18 people on here. So it's just a matter of like doing a few invitations per week. It's really not that big a bother to do this and to grow that. But I saw like it was like a little clunky, so I didn't want to invite so many. That's why I invited less. So that's why I'm actually doing experimenting on like, how many people do I invite that I get the right amount of people on, and then also I like this today because now I get a chance to like kind of reflect and just kind of like just go to the core of like what this could be, where like if I had a bunch of people I wouldn't get a chance to do that because it's like, okay, now we're focused on entertaining and we're focused on bringing like, like it's spread out more, like now we can focus a little more.
Well, I love this. Like for me to put something on my schedule, the only time I don't show up is if I happen to not be home and I can't get to the computer. But for me to show up to something every week it's something special for me because I don't just do that with anything.
Right. No, I get it. And so Minashi as well, and so yeah, I mean that's the vibe I got from you since the beginning. So that's why I'm super delighted. Because I know like the way Jeff talks about you is that you're like, you don't just like give your time to anybody.
No, I don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I
I'm
love this
grateful.
group. I think this group is great. I love the people that you bring in. Minashi, I think she's amazing, and you're amazing. And it's the topics that you come up with and the way that it flows. It's so much fun.
Right. So okay, let's talk about that 100 people. Like, did you do some advertising and then you got 100, or how did you get that number 100?
So the first thing that I did is I
Did you get them
joined.
all at once, or
Yeah.
like, okay?
Yeah. At one point, I had like 500 people join in one of my WhatsApp groups. At that point, I had to open up because WhatsApp didn't allow that many people back then. So I got to open 2 separate groups. So originally what I did is I went into different Dr. Joe groups and I said, who's reading Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself? And people would say, I am. And then I said, would you like to be in an accountability group where we go through the meditations on our own and we meet weekly and go over the wins and challenges? And so I did that for a couple years, and then I decided to create my own Facebook group. So now I have a Facebook group and I named it Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Becoming Supernatural Accountability Group, Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Oh my
Like,
God.
it's a huge name. And I will tell you that I'm very mindful about I don't sell anything in the group. And I'm really careful about what I do because Dr. Joe's people have shut down other groups that I know personally.
Right.
But I have 16,000 people in my own private group.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I just that's awesome. That's how I started my first groups that I started. I started from UPW. I started like on 2014 I did one, then 2016 I did a second one, and then I just had people like comment on the group, and then like I would ask people, hey, engage, so more people like gets more visibility, and then eventually I will get a bunch of people on there, and then like I'll get like a bunch of phone numbers, and then I'll add it in. But that's awesome. So you got them all from Joe Dispenza groups usually?
No, this is just specifically around Dr. Joe Dispenza. I have different groups for different things. Like I've done accountability groups around Julia Cameron, around Eckhart Tolle. Who else? I haven't done a Tony Robbins group, and I don't have really great reason yet.
Yeah.
But a whole bunch there's others. I just can't remember the names of the
Maybe Sage
Brene
Robbins.
Brene Brown. I did. What did you say? I'm sorry.
Sage Robbins.
Oh, Sage Robbins. I have a group around her right now.
Wait, what do you mean? Wait, what was the Robbins thing? What was that? So you said, is there a confusion here?
Sage Robbins, Tony's wife.
And then there's the other Robbins, Mel Robbins too. Did you do one?
Oh yeah, I don't have a group, or I never did a group around her. Basically, if I was reading a book, like the Morning Miracles, another one, if I was reading a book, I would like people to do it with me because it kept me accountable. So that's how I would go through whatever things I was doing.
Okay, so that ties into what I'm doing. This is aligns perfectly. So basically, I am on CD6. Last week I was doing personal power, and this week I'm doing live with passion. So this is kind of like the direction I'm going anyway. Where like I've done the books before, but now during these parts I'm doing the tapes. So like last week it was personal power, and I really went deep into like, okay, what is it that drives you? Well, this actually, yeah, the driving force, that was like the theme, the driving force. And then like how to associate, like, and how to change the habit with, associating positive things to negative. This week is like live with passion. So he's talking about like, the field of dreams and the purpose, and then how if you have what's the other analogy? So he talked the field of dreams, and how the guy said that if you had he's like, it's not a tragedy that I only played 5 minutes in the league. It's a tragedy that it would be a tragedy if I've been a doctor for 5 minutes. You remember that part?
I don't remember that part.
Well, have you listened to Live with Passion?
No.
Okay, so he talks about like I think it's not the driving force. It's this is why, see, Monday went kind of bad. So
Is this who wrote this?
this is Tony Robbins' program. This is a CD program. So personal power is Get the Edge, and Live with Passion is another one. Who is like all about like how to achieve the passion. Like like he talks about the story about his ex-wife's father, Becky's father, where like he was dying. He was diagnosed with some stuff, and then but they kept him alive with hope. They gave him like 6 months to live, and he lasted like 4 or 5 years over that. And then he talks about like this man, what drove him. So they talk about like how they went in and they gave him stuff to strive for, like hope, and with the grandkids and things like that. And then that gave him more hope. But then there was a time where like the doctors told him that how the cancer had advanced so much, and then there's like, oh, you have this much time to live, boom. And he said that same day he aged 10 years, because it's like his face, like he didn't have anything to strive for, he didn't have anything to live for. So like he literally just gave up, and then 6 months later he died.
Yeah, I remember a story that was similar. I didn't know who it was, which is interesting.
He talks about this in Day with Destiny. You went to Day with Destiny, so he probably talks about it there.
Yeah, I guess I didn't tie it to who it was. I didn't realize that it was his ex-wife's father-in-law.
Right.
I remember him talking about a friend's mom who had cancer. I remember that person, but I don't remember that one. That's okay.
It's definitely okay.
It is definitely okay.
It's definitely okay.
Meenakshi, where are you?
Meenakshi, what do you?
Meenakshi, are you here with us?
What do you think about
Yes.
that, Meenakshi? What do you think about that?
I am being an active listener today.
Yeah, this is so interesting. It's a
So
limited.
if I talk about the yogic philosophy as well, it's something related to what you have heard in Tony Robbins. Like it's about living life for purpose. So if I talk about yoga in very broad terms, there are 5 to 6 types of yoga that you do. Gyan yoga, karma yoga. One of them is dharma yoga, which is like finding your purpose. And what they say, if you're not following your dharma, which is if you're not performing your duties, it's something that not like that. It's like that. If you perform your own duties, it's much better to die performing your own duties than to perform somebody else's. Like if I'm an engineer, if I'm performing my duties as an engineer, it's much better than if I try to become a doctor for one day for a few minutes. And also this book by Viktor Frankl, I don't know, it's German pronunciation for his name, it's German. This very thin book, Man's Search for Meaning. So he only talks about how people get depressed and how life becomes dull and meaningless if they don't have purpose. And many times the reason for depression or chronic dissatisfaction, that kind of complaining nature, it all comes down to people not having purpose-driven goals in life. Is that whatever comes their way, if they don't like it, they just start complaining because they have not defined what they want exactly. What's their purpose?
Yeah, so that drives me directly to the prompt that Tony gave, which is like, it's like the thing that has hit me the hardest. It's like, and it's basically just a statement. It's like a mission statement where like he says, my purpose in life is to, and then you can tie that purpose into anything you do. So if you find something that you don't want to do, or at the moment that you need to do, but you don't want to do it or whatever, you just don't feel like you want to do it, then you could tie your purpose into it. My purpose in life, in this meeting that I don't want to go to, I will boom, and then purpose. And then like, or if you have like a task you got to do, like when I wash these dishes, I accomplish my purpose of serving with like blank. So it's like my purpose is to, so I think what came for me is to serve and explore, and to explore and to serve. So like I want to explore the world, I want to visit countries, and I want to serve in a way. And then service also ties into that limiting belief that some people have where it's like if you charge for something, then like you're not giving, but you're actually like creating an ecosystem and a relationship of giving and receiving with that person if you make him a client. So it's like my purpose is to serve and to explore the world. So it's so far like so simple. So what about you guys? What is your purpose? My purpose is to
love myself and to teach others to love themselves as well.
My purpose is to teach people the actual meaning of health, not just physical body, going beyond the physical body, the holistic health parameters like your social wellness, your financial health, your brain health, and driven by purpose. That's one of the parameters in holistic health as well. I think my journey started specifically at some point because I also lacked purpose. I was just following that script that is given to you when you are growing up, when you realize that you're growing up, 12, 13-year-old, that at some point of time you will be going to university, start selecting your career from these 5: doctor, engineer, lawyer, or something that fits the script. You are never told to explore yourself. What are your strengths, weaknesses, how you can live your life? Because what I feel that up to the age of 5 years, not feel that this is what I've studied in psychology, that whatever brain develops, 80 to 90%, it develops by the age of 5 years. And thereafter, after 5 years, you just follow your patterns. Your brain survival mechanism kicks in every time. And that's how until the age of 35, Belinda is talking about Joe Dispenza's program. They've mentioned it there, by the age of 35, 95% of the things that you do are already programmed. And when that program by any chance is glitching or it stopped, then you will have that deep thinking. And that glitch in my program was COVID hitting. Because I was so busy in working. It was just all about job, eating, sleeping, and then again getting ready. And in that rush, I never realized, is it right? Is it wrong? Is it something that I love? It was just that if I don't like it, I would complain. If I am having a good day, I will laugh about it. Weekends, I'll drink and sleep, and I just forget about it. But when that COVID hit, I had 24 hours to myself, exclude 8 hours because I'm sleeping. Apart from that, what I was watching, I think I've stopped watching TV after just after I went to college at the age of 19 years. 19 to 35, I wasn't aware what's happening in news, what's happening around in politics. And when that COVID hit, I had no option just to watch TV. What I was watching was people dying. And, I studied nanotechnology and I had a master's degree in nanotechnology. And one thing that stuck me really hard is like the cancer treatment that we can do using nanotechnology, which will be friendly to other cells, but kill cancerous cells. And I was never able to pursue it because COVID happened. But then when I saw these things happening around, that made me think, what is the purpose of life? Why am I seeing this? And that's how my journey started into personal development, yoga, holistic health. And when I found out, when I was introduced to yogic philosophy, that was like really an eye-opener for me. It felt like I've been living into fantasy. What are you?
It's an eye opener.
You're being creepy.
It was an eye opener.
Yeah, an eye opener.
Wow. So what? Okay. So what is this? It says this is not a mission statement for a company. This is you stepping out into the field, grabbing a mic, and saying, "I'm here to light people up. I'm here to go full out. I'm not playing small. I'm not waiting for permission."
Let's go. I am.
Like, say it loud in front of a mirror. Say it during a run. Say it during a big call. Say it when you forget who you are. This is not a sentence. This is an ignition switch. Let's build it, and there will come moment inside your chest.
Yay! Yes, I can do this.
That's 18 years of hearing preachers from stage. From
Your purpose is clear, Joe, but your face is like all blur.
My name is Blurry Face, and I don't care what you think.
You can record that in a motivational podcast. You have got that
What?
motivational voice.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that those lines that you read.
Yeah. Well, I was at the beach this morning, and I got this new hobby where like I'll get in the water, and then I'm waiting for like the biggest waves to come and hit me, and then like I'm looking to get over the fear, because when the big waves are coming, like it's kind of scary because some are so hard that they'll knock me over. So like I have like this hobby now where I'll like, okay, I want a big wave, and then I'll just stand there, and then like I'll tighten my body in such a way that it can't knock me over, or maybe it knocks me a little bit. But like so yeah, it's like a new hobby of mine. It's like scary, and then it wakes me up in the morning when it hits me, and I'm like, and I'll be laughing by myself. Like in the ocean, there's nobody around. I'm just laughing because like the wave knocked me over, and I'm like, I just got knocked over. Yo, Belinda, you're in the ocean. Why don't you try this?
No, I was on the beach this morning with my dog, and the waves they're wild here because I'm on Long Island. It's different than Florida beaches. So tons of waves. My dog wanted to go swimming, but I'll send you a video of my dog with birds. He wanted to chase birds, and there was like, I don't know how many, 1,000 of these little birds. And he likes to chase one bird, and he sometimes tries to go in the ocean. So I let him go, and he ran, and all of a sudden he stops. There's still birds on the ground because there are so many. And then they were swarming around him, and he was just bewildered. He didn't do anything to the birds. He was just like, now what? Now I'm here. I'll send you guys the video. It was really amazing.
Yeah. So what about in India? Like, do you have a beach out there, or
Yes.
what do you have over
Yes, yeah, we do have beaches out here, but the place where I live in, this is not a beach place. But I went to Goa last year, and there are two sides of Goa. One is the North Goa, which is like party place, everyone is yo. And then there is South Goa, where it's more calm, serene. It's like spiritual retreats and yoga and all that. So there was one specific beach that I remember. It was like you visited, Joe. It was very secluded, but the water is clear, and the very good thing about it, there are no coast guards whatsoever. And that beach specifically, they don't have high tide at all. They're always low tide, so you can go swim and have nice time. The only thing is they have got very small white colored crabs, so you have to be really careful full of them because they bite you really hard. So
Really, the crabs bite.
yeah, yeah,
Here
very
they,
small size crabs.
here they don't bite. They don't bite over here because I see them all the time. They're on the beach, but they don't bite.
Which you're talking about big crabs, the red ones,
No, the little ones.
the white colored ones?
Yeah, they call them sand crab. Like they're like
Okay.
they're like sand colored.
The two kinds. One were really small, which don't bite, but they were like grayish white.
I did,
Those
I
really.
did, I did get stung by something. I don't know if it was like jellyfish particles, or it may have been crabs. I don't know, but but I did get stung like 5 times last couple weeks. Like at different days. Like one day I got stung, then the next day, and then a couple of days after, and then one day I got 2 stings on my legs. I don't know if it was a bite or a sting. I don't know. All I know is that I had like redness around it, and it felt a little bit like a huge bee or like a hornet.
Red ant. Yeah.
No, not an ant. No, like, well, maybe, yeah, a big ant, but it felt like something big like bit me, like a wasp. Where it gives you like a big thing. But I was in the water, so and it kind of felt electrifying, like a little bit, like a burn, like a little burn. I don't know, maybe
Yeah.
I got like ocean chlamydia or something. I don't know.
Yeah, they've got some acid in their what do you call it, claws or something like that.
Uh-huh.
So if it penetrates the first layer of your skin, it gives you that sort of burning sensation.
Oh,
I'm
is
not
that
really sure. Yeah.
interesting?
Same with red ant. They have also got some acid sting they have, which is why it gives you that kind of sensation.
I love when Tony talks about the ants. He's like, these tiny little things that bite and it hurts so bad. This giant person. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, that brings me to I saw a video the other day about like birds. There's when they have like a certain disease or something or an infection, they will purposefully go in an ant colony and roll around so the ants actually bite it a bunch of times. And the poison from the ants, it actually helps them to cure this thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. What is it that it cures?
Let me see.
You got to give
I
us all the
know about-
information. Don't leave us in suspense.
Yeah, I know about the red ant. They have got some kind of acid in it, which is why you see red ants can actually penetrate through the cemented walls as well, because they release some kind of acids to like break walls and make
That's
holes
what burns so much.
Yeah. And I've heard a very fascinating thing about bird as well. They don't sleep like humans, like we need a stretch sleep for 8 hours. They have their parts of brain. They can actually sleep, half part of their brain sleeps while they're still flying.
Wow.
Let me see here.
And there's actually a fish. Oh God, that was really interesting thing that I realized. This fish is called mola fish.
Mola mola. Money.
You know what's so funny about this fish? This fish is called like literally the trash of ocean, because if you catch this fish, it has got very less edible meat in it, and its muscle sensation, the motor nerves in her body are so less that even if someone is eating eating this fish alive, they won't know. They don't even realize that they are being eaten.
Okay, look. It's called anting. Anting, anting. It's called anting. It's when a bird lets ants crawl over its body or actively rubs ants into its feathers. Some birds even lie down on anthills. The ants release formic acid and other chemicals which may act as a natural antiseptic pesticide. Birds seem to get several advantages. Parasite control. Ant secretions can kill or deter lice, mites, and fungal agents, and skin feather irritation relief, especially during molting when old feathers are being replaced and skin might be itchy or sensitive. Possibly also helps with maintaining feather condition, cleanliness, oil regulation, and removing bacteria or fungi.
Oh, nice.
So that's it, Belinda. It's for it's like an antiseptic. Like if they want to detox or whatever, they just like dive into an anthill.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Right? Yeah. I thought about it because there's treatments like this. The thing that it reminds me of is like that treatment where like you take what's going on? It's that treatment where you take the it's like they put the larvae whenever you have a certain type of cancer, and it eats like the cancer, and they take it like mosquitoes, like the maggots, they put maggots in to eat the cancer, and then they take them out.
Oh.
So the logic behind the cancerous cell is wherever their cancerous cell, the cancerous cell needs a high pH acidic environment to grow. So like larvae and all these insects which thrive in acidic environment, they inject those into cancerous cells. That was pretty much the topic of my target drug delivery in nanotechnology that I've studied. So that's how they do targeted drug delivery. They send the medicine with that pH sensors, and it will break open inside those areas where the pH level are high.
Yeah, that's smart, because cancer cells, a lot of people don't know, are naturally high in pH. They're alkaline as hell. So yeah, that steps in its way and interrupts that process.
Yeah.
The willful warrior.
What's up?
Hey, what's up? Please introduce yourself.
Well, it's good to meet you all. My name is Leland. I live in Bocas del Toro, Panama. From Italy originally, combat veteran, like so many different things. Oh my
Combat veteran in the Italian army?
No, the US. I came to the US when I was 8 years old. We moved from Europe to the States and grew up in the States and all that good stuff. So,
Nice.
Are you Panama, Florida, or Panama, the country?
Panama, the country. Bocas
Ooh,
del
I
Toro.
love Panama, the country. I mean,
Yeah.
Florida's fine too, but Panama's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm in. So I'm on the island Bocas del Toro, which is the Caribbean side. It's literally the Latino Hawaii. Amazing.
I have a friend that lives there. Panama's got a lot of tax benefits, if I'm correct.
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it's one of the big reasons I moved down here. Besides the fact on just my military retirement alone, I can live like a king down here.
And also networking opportunities, because you got the Panama Canal.
Exactly. Yeah, and then of course with me, voy aprendiendo español similar a italiano. It plugs me into an area. When you look at like Latin America, they don't have a Tony Robbins so I get to be that guy, like budding here in Central and South America. So it's kind of exciting.
I've been thinking about that. Me and my buddy Oscar, he's a professor, and like we've been talking about like Spanish market, because the English market is pretty saturated, but the Spanish market is wide open.
Wide the fuck open. Like, yeah, there's no Tony Robbins here. They don't know what that guy is. They don't have any of those things because nobody speaks to them in their language. So yeah, it's super powerful to like be one of the people pioneering that here.
Right. Yeah, and Tony does some Spanish stuff. Oh, look, Meenakshi said you're jacked. He's admiring your muscles.
Part of my regimen here. Let me turn this AI function off.
Hey, that's a combat veteran right there. Like he could protect and serve you.
Yes, I can.
Yeah. Wow. Meenakshi, do you have does your passport allow you to visit Panama?
Does my passport allow me to visit? Oh, you're talking. Yeah.
For Meenakshi, she's in India, and she.
Yes, it does, only if I'm granted a visa. So I'll have to go through a visa process.
It's easy down here, by the way. Super easy. Like they love visitors in this area. Like they want visitors because, of course, to them they want those tourist dollars.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, same here.
So, what's your name, man? Willful Warrior.
Leland.
Oh, Leland. Sorry, Leland. So, Leland, Italiano.
Sì.
Italiano, bellissimo.
Sì, bravo.
You know, my favorite food group is lasagna.
Pasta. I was gonna guess.
Yeah, I mean, Indian food, Spanish food is good, but like, man, a good lasagna. Oh man, that's all.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I know I'm biased, but Italian's up at the top of the list. But yeah, Indian food and Spanish food right there.
Yeah. French food is good too. But yeah, man, a good pasta, Italiano frittata.
Yeah.
Yes. So Leland, so the topic today is purpose. Like I've been listening to Live with Passion by Tony Robbins, and like he talks about the field of dreams and about the doctor who was a baseball player. If you heard that story. So we're talking about that, and then the prompt that he uses is, let's say you don't know your purpose. Most people don't know your purpose. And then he just reminded me of this now. It's like he's talking about the rules. It's like he talks about the 5 reasons or the 6 reasons most people don't succeed in life. And then one of them is that like you're playing a game and you don't know the rules. And then everybody's got all these rules. And then everybody's following these rules, but they don't know the purpose of the game. And then they believe they should follow rules, but they don't know the purpose of the game, and then they imposing on you that you need to follow the rules, and you don't even know the rules, and then and what's the purpose? And then he talks about the analogy, the way he dives into the field of dreams, is because like in baseball, there are rules that you might not know. Like I think that it's like I forgot the
balk, the balk from the pitcher, things like that. Yeah,
exactly. So there are rules that you might say, oh, we won the game. No, you did. It's an out because this rule that does this and that. So in life, we read these things. And then he talks about how when sometimes we get unmotivated because we're following the rules and the laws of nature or something, and then but we don't win or we don't get any pleasure in the short term, and then sometimes we break the rules and we win, and then so that it gets us confused. So that's where I'm at with that. That's where I'm trying to study for this week.
Love it.
Yeah. So thoughts.
This is great, because a lot of what I've been like talking to my clients and followers about this week is, a lot of us, like you said, you don't know your purpose. Okay, so then your purpose is to connect with this thing right here, not this thing out here, because like you said, it's going to tell you these rules, and you might not even know the game yet. So if you just make yourself your purpose, then everything else figures itself out as you move forward.
Yes, and that's similar to what I'm doing right now. Like I'm experimenting. I turned myself into a project where and I was telling Belinda and Meenakshi, Belinda, it's on audio. She's on a beach in a secluded area in some like obscure area in New York. And which is a top secret. Like nobody.
I can't tell you where I am.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I love it. You hit me in the veteran button, like, ooh, top secret.
Yeah, this is top clearance level, so we can't. However, she's accomplishing a very important mission up there, and we respect her. Thank you for your service, Belinda.
No problem. Wait, I wanted to say something. When you're talking about rules, I want to tell you, because I had a camping rule. So I used to have a rule that I never camped on Long Island. Then COVID happened. I couldn't leave Long Island, and I found a place that you're in between. You're on the small piece of land. I'm in between the bay and the ocean. It's magnificent. But then I had another rule that I created, even though like variety is my top need. My rule when I came here is I'm not leaving this area. Like I am here. I don't go back over the bridge until I'm leaving. And somebody invited me to go kayaking, and Jeff and I decided to go, and I was like so half-heartedly going, and it's only literally over the bridge, but I wasn't going to be here. And then we went, and they invited me on a kayak ride. They didn't say, hey, this is going to be the most magical kayak ride you'll ever be on in your life, but it was. And I was like, look at me. I had these rules that I didn't even realize, that even the rules that are, I think, helping me because I'm on vacation and I'm not supposed to go back over the bridge and I got to stay in this place. Like really getting rid of rules in any area that, especially if they're not serving you. Like, why are you creating these rules? I was just blown away by the realization of, wow, these rules were actually holding me back.
There you go. Isn't that great? Like, that's what I teach people too, is it's like, if you're not making the rules, why are you following it?
I did make the rule, but I don't even know why I made it.
Well, and then of course you checking in with some of the rules that we make for ourselves. They're usually based on the rules out there. So we make these rules, and you're like, hold on a minute, why did I even fucking say that?
If you're not making the rules, why are you following them? That's the quotable right there, man.
There you go. I love it. Use it. Take it.
Why are you following them? Wow. Yeah. So, and then Tony has this prompt where he prompts people. It's like, my purpose in life is to. My purpose in life is to, and then he says, don't overcomplicate it. Just say it, and then come up with it's like a mission statement, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Get super clear about what you want. I keep manifesting too. I'm aligning that very soon I'll be on stage with him doing a lot of the breath work and all that good stuff. It's going to happen. It's an inevitability.
It's an inevitability.
It is. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, you better do it soon, man, because he's like 68 now or what?
Yeah, he's getting up there. You figure by next year I'll be on stage with him. My publicist is working on it right now and all that good stuff.
Hey, bad. Yeah, Belinda, have you ever been like on stage with Tony?
So I have not. And I was just going to say, when I envision it, I make sure that I envision that I'm on stage and I am part of his team, because somebody else told me how they always envision themselves on stage and we can have these visions. And he ended up being on stage as a mic runner and standing next to Tony.
Oh,
And he
yeah,
was
be a little specific about what you want.
yeah. Yeah, it's got to be for the greater good. And yes,
Right.
I would like coaching from Tony on certain things, and to be sharing a stage. Yeah, I have like a whole visualization, and Oprah and Tony are there. So
Love it. Love it. Love that. Yeah,
but I
Tony
did
even
have
talks like
conversation.
that on stage. He tells people all the time, like, be specific about your goals. Don't say you want more money. Here's $1. Go.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just got to have a conversation with Sage. That was it was really beautiful. It was like 15 minutes. I talked to Sage, and this is the third time I talked to Sage. And what was really wild was I was questioning something when I was finished. I was questioning about something, projects that I'm working on right now, and just asking myself, like, am I on the right path with certain things? And the moment I had the thought, my rep from Tony sent me a link. He was sending me a link to something else that I had joined into. And I was like, why are you sending me a picture of me and Sage? I was like, why do you have this? How do you have this? And then I realized he doesn't even know who I am. Like, he knows who I am. We have conversations, but he's never seen me. And so he replied, he said, what do you mean? I said, that's a picture of me and Sage that you just sent. He goes, well, I just copied a link. I don't actually see the picture. And he sent it to another computer, and then he saw the image, and so their image is me and Sage next to each other, hugging each other. And that is to go to one of her events. And it just was definitely in that moment, the answer is absolutely yes.
But Sierra, the your note taker is taking up like the thing. I mean, can you remove that from the visual? Like, I don't mind it being on here, but it's just...
no, my note taker automatically joins. Usually what I do, anytime that somebody brings a note taker and I don't want it on the visual, because it's not even giving me the option to do it, but all you have to do is like stop the video on it and it'll remove from the visual.
There you go.
Stop the video.
Yeah, so if you click the 3 dots and then click stop video, it'll remove from that.
3 dot. You
on participants.
here, speak. Oh, participants. Oh, participants. Oh, okay. Ah, beautiful. Okay, there.
Because for whatever reason, it doesn't. Because I'm not the host of the event, it doesn't give me the option to do that, and it should have bumped it down. It's still showing it. Maybe if you reset it.
Holy shit! All right,
holy
Liquid
shit.
Liquid Bloom, one of my friends. I don't know if you guys know who that is. Like, world-renowned DJ, music wizard, basically. He just confirmed he's going to be doing live music at her retreat in March.
At her retreat?
That's our retreat in Tulum.
Oh, bet.
Yeah, so there's some like magical stuff happening right now. We're blowing into the mainstream in a big way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right.
So Sierra, just to catch you up, so we're talking about CD. I'm listening to Live with Passion. It's like the Tony program, and I'm on CD6, and it talks about CD6. It talks about the driving purpose. So we're talking about it talks about the field of dreams and how sometimes a lot of people have rules. Like we have rules in society, and then we will follow these rules, but we don't know the purpose. What's the purpose? What is the reason? And then like a lot of people will follow these rules, and then society imposes upon you that you got to follow rules, but you don't know the purpose, or you don't know the point of the game, but you're still following all these rules. And then Leland, this is Leland over here. Leland gracefully said, what is it? If you're not making the rules, why are you following them? So let's go to Sierra with some input.
Well, with that question, I'm like, well, one reason why I follow some of the rules is because I don't want to go to jail. But
yeah,
like let's just throw that out there. And some rules I think are kind of understood. Like there's a reason why there's like child laws and how you're not supposed to like date children and stuff like that. Like those ones, like I don't even think we need to have like an absolute rule for those. But
agreed. Yeah, the basics should just be common
There's a few
sense.
like moral code that I think is okay. Or I don't want to go to jail. I like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we weren't even thinking about that. All right.
Yeah, those ones we kind of just follow, right? Like, don't steal shit, don't kill anybody, let's not touch children. Like, let's the basics, follow those ones.
I can't remember who said it. You know what? No, I think it was Napoleon Hill. So there's the 13 Laws of Success or 13 Rules of Success that's available for free on YouTube. That was Napoleon Hill's course a long time ago. And one of the things that he said is like, whatever religion you are raised with, and I think that this is really valuable for our rules and our constructs and things that we abide by that are ingrained in us since the time we're little kids. He said it's actually harder to do away with some of those mental programming. Like it just takes years and years and years to deprogram some of that, that it's better if you can find a way to work with it and not try to change those innate values that are inside of you. And so he said, like, don't try to jump into some new religion that goes very against what you've been believing since you were little. Like, instead of trying to shape those beliefs, shape the beliefs that actually matter most. And so I think when it comes to like rules and constructs and stuff like that, yes, there are some that it's like, well, that's stupid. And I think as long as we're willing to learn, I think this was one of the fears that I had in my early 20s, was that I was going to grow up and I was going to become one of those people who didn't learn and adapt and grow anymore. And I was just trying to find more foundational elements to why I was right in the world, because I knew so many adults in their 30s, 40s, 50s who were just like set in their ways, not adaptable. And so I like to stay more malleable in the aspect of being willing to learn and grow and not thinking that everything that I know and do is right. And
that's
so
neuroplasticity right there.
Yeah. Not so much to where like there are some things that I think are foundational, that it's like there's a story from scripture that says that there were two people who built houses, and one built his house on a rock and the other built his house on the sand. And when the storm came, the person with his house on the rock, his house stood. It was able to withstand the storm and everything was good for him. And with the other person who built his house on the sand, that as soon as the storm hit, the house crumbled and fell and there was nothing left. And it's because he didn't have a firm foundation. And so I think there are some things that we need to have as a firm foundation that are unmovable, that because that's what gives us the stability for everything else. And so for me, I view God as my, God, angels, universe, whatever you're going to call it from your perspective. But I view that as a foundation, not as a hierarchy, like a lot of people see it. Like I put God first and then family and then this. I actually don't view things as a hierarchy, because in all honesty, people who put family before their job will quit their job and then not be able to support their family. And so I don't see those as hierarchical. And I don't think that we're supposed to live by a hierarchy in terms of that. But like, again, God is the foundation of everything that I do. And so I find God in every activity. I find God in every relationship. I find God in everything that I see, as opposed to putting it in a hierarchy. So I think that we just have to have some of those foundational elements, and then anything above and beyond that, like if we want to change the wallpaper of our house, or if we want to change the framing, or put in a new window or a new door, or knock down some walls, we can do that as long as our foundation is firm.
But neuroscience, like neuroplasticity you mentioned, I just want to point out that I've been studying like this textbook, and then the analogy that helped me to learn neuroscience, it's helping me, is like the brain, and it's like, and then all these it's like a postal service, or like it's just sending messages back and forth. And sometimes I met somebody with like multiple sclerosis recently, and they said that like whenever like their problem, like in their brain or whatever, their system is, that he said, like, I was like, can you describe it like from the postal analogy? And he said that it's that their messages, like they're going to the wrong offices, and then so basically like some people have this problem where like they're sending, but if you think about it psychologically, some of us have that problem ourselves, like where it's like the brain is sending like the wrong messages to the wrong places, or that's making us not do the things that we know we should be doing,
Yeah. In fact, you're going to love when you look on Facebook, the video I posted today is all about change, neuroplasticity, all that good stuff. So yeah, you'll like that one a lot. And it's, it's funny, as you mentioned MS, I have dozens of MS patients now that have turned their MS off like a switch with everything I teach. Yeah.
Wow. So rewiring, literally.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right now I'm finishing my master's in biomedical neuroscience. And then I'm a doctoral candidate right now for neurochemistry. So yeah, that's my jam.
Dr. Leland.
Very soon, by 2029, I will be Dr. Leland Holt. Thank you.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Integration. This is something I've been working on now. integration where it's like I'm 37 now, so I've done a lot of things in my life, travel, like music, singing, like, and I'm looking for a way, how can I integrate all of these skills that I learned and these things that I enjoy doing into one path, into that one thing, like Gary Keller would say, the one thing. You know, how can I integrate these skills into my one thing that I'll be doing, my next project, my next, you know, purpose. And I've been finding myself like just I'll do a little bit of singing in the morning, and then I'll combine it with my meditation, and then like at the beach, and then like it's just all coming together. But I'm a creative, so like I identify as a creative, so I'm putting all these things together, and I don't want to know the destination yet. I'm just like, I wonder what's possible here. What are the possibilities? I know people who can't live like that, so let's talk about that difference, because I know people who need to be certain. Okay, I gotta set a goal, and then I gotta go, and then I gotta do this, and I gotta do that, and I gotta do this in specific order. If I don't have this specific order, then I'm like, I'm crazy. I can't live like that, you know? So let's talk about that. Like, are you guys more like me, creative, or you like me, where like you choose something and then you stick with it and you do like step by step?
Yeah, I mean, for myself, a lot of what I do myself and what I teach is I'm like you. Yes, I have a roundabout goal in mind, but you know, unlike most people, I don't set like it has to look this way, it has to smell this way, it has to feel this way, it has to be exactly like this. So just allowing yourself the direction is pretty much all I focus on, or have my clients focus on. Because in the other way, you're literally fighting versus what neuroplasticity is built around, the ability to change, shift, morph, adapt, all of these other things. So for the folks that set like this monetary goal, it's got to look this way, it's got to feel this way, all these other things, you're putting this real small cage around your possibilities. You're collapsing possibilities and like creating this, it must be this way, and anything outside of that is automatically failure. So one of the things that I remind people is, when you get in the way of that process and you have to have it this way, it has to smell and touch and feel this way, you're literally interrupting the reward process of your brain. Because if it doesn't happen, there's no dopamine that happens in the prefrontal cortex area. So there's no reason for you to continue doing it. And that's why most people are suffering, because they're working a job they really don't like, or they're running a schema that really doesn't serve them. You know, it's all based on what external stimulation tells them must be, or how it must look like. So yeah, it really keyholes you into a very finite place.
Right. And some people live in this world where it's like, oh, there's no meaning to life. You just live, you work, and you die.
Yeah, absolutely. And
we're not like that here. No,
I can see. That's why I love you guys. That's why I love you guys. And I think, Sierra, you mentioned like a big piece too, because for those of us that do believe in God or divine, you know, whatever y'all's language is out there, you are supposed to be the center focal point of everything, right? Just kind of like what Sierra highlighted. Those that put family first before themselves, it's like, well, you're going to be pouring from an empty cup. Like, why aren't you focusing on you? That's what, for as far as I'm concerned, it's like, that's what God would want me to do. Focus on being the creator that you created me to be, and everything kind of filters out from that process. Just allow all those basic rules, like we talked about, to be there. And then the rest of it you define as you go, based on being loving and being respectful and all of these other things that, you know, God and everything teaches.
So today we make the rules, or Sierra, does God make the rules?
I'm a firm believer in the collective consciousness and of all of us stemming from God, and that we are spirit, we are not body, we are not mind, and that our mind is just like the supercomputer that runs the body here on this earth, kind of like you have an engine that runs your car. So from the understanding that I have, God, angels, universe, whatever you want to refer to it as, God has created, or he just is, you know, he is the I am, and he just exists, and he has the total picture and the total vision, and each of us as spirit has like a piece of that puzzle. Like, it's like a grand divine puzzle, and each of us are a piece of that puzzle. And every time we come together, like in this setting, and one of the reasons why I made time for this when you asked me to come back again is because I do believe that the more people that we connect with, and the more people that we communicate with and build those connections with, the grander vision we get of the fullness of of the picture of the puzzle. I don't know if you've ever built a puzzle without knowing what the image is, and you're just sitting there trying to figure it out. And you're just looking at the different colors and shapes, and you're like, what is happening here? And then you finally see a little bit like, oh, this is like a cat, or this is a balloon, or this is whatever, and you start understanding more about it. And even still, you think it's something, and then you keep adding to it, and you keep seeing more and bigger pictures of it. And I do believe, I'm a firm believer, first off, that time is a construct that we created to help us understand that things happened that are not still here, and we have memories of things that happened that don't exist anymore, and then that things are going to happen that aren't like in the physical realm now. So time helps us to understand that, but time doesn't exist. And so because of that, it's like we keep walking through life and discovering a more grand picture in every aspect. So with every moment, every breath, everyone we meet is just bringing a fuller picture. And I don't think I think I bunny trailed a lot on that one. I too am a creative. From my perspective, I do appreciate now, after being married to such an integrator for so long, I do appreciate the aspect.
What do you mean by married to an integrator?
Integrator versus visionary. So visionary is the one who lives a lot in that creative realm and is just constantly creating new ideas and wanting to run with these new ideas. And then the integrator is the person who actually makes it all happen. Like if you say, ooh, I have this idea, they can take it, run with it, and then it happens. So they're the action takers. They're the doers. So we have the dreamers and the doers is maybe an easier way to say it. That's the integrator versus visionary.
I like it.
So I need a wife who's an integrator. I need a
yeah, that would be a good like match to your creative visionary side. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I'm like trying to create all this stuff, and then I'm like there was this YouTuber who had this framework where like the yellows, the blues, the reds, and the greens, and like the reds are like the natural leaders, but the yellows are like the ones like me. I identify as a yellow, which is like I'm creative and I'm high energy and charming and stuff like that. But then there will come a time where I run out of I forget what I was talking about 5 minutes ago. So I need integrators to help me, and I found myself having to adapt and integrate integration habits into my life so I can actually start. But I don't like to do it, so it becomes like a task and like a chore. So if I had somebody that did that, kind of just put everything together, I just throw it at them and they'll put it together.
Well, let me ask you,
Yeah.
do you brush your teeth every day?
Yes,
You
but
do?
there's been times where I don't.
But if you fall off for like a day or so, or a day or two or whatever, do you get back on track with it?
Yes.
So you have the ability for it. You just need to have a purpose. Like you were talking about in the beginning, you need to have a purpose or a reason for why the structure is there.
Absolutely. Yeah.
If you think that structure is going to pull you away from your ultimate purpose, then you're never going to stick with it. But if you believe that the structure is actually going to help you, you'll stick with it. Like my dad has dentures, and he's going to have dentures for the rest of his life now because they removed his teeth during his cancer treatment. And it's like he thought about it afterwards. He's like, yeah, if I'd known it was going to be like this, I probably would have kept my teeth. And so it's one of those things like, he now tells my kids only brush the teeth you want to keep.
That's a great message. That's a great grandpa type thing to say. I love that.
Wait, is your dad Jim Rohn?
No, but I'll tell
that
him
is a Jim Rohn-like message. I like that.
Yeah. Only brush the teeth you want to keep.
I like that. That's great. One of the things too that I noticed you saying that I like to help people out a lot with is when it's a task-based orientation, of course, it's going to feel like a chore. Nobody wants to do more tasks or more chores. So I work a lot with people on creating it in a ritualistic sense, programming it in, like Sierra's talking about, like putting some sort of purpose behind it, a reason behind it. And that allows you to kind of tune into why you want to do these things. And then instead of, oh, I got this thing to do, it's okay, yeah, I got to do this thing.
I'm having lighting problems, guys.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's quite obvious. We can see that.
You look like a cartoon character now.
Yeah.
I feel like is it Leland?
Yeah.
I don't see your name on the screen, so it's just my brain remembering.
Yeah, you did good.
I'm like, good job, brain. Did it.
But
I'm proud of you.
He does that for the effect that if you don't know him, then you have to call him the willful warrior.
So I feel like me and Leland and Joe started talking, and since I've been on the call, I haven't even heard Meenakshi, and then
she's just a
Linda was talking for a
meditator.
minute.
Like she's just meditating right now. It's like she's a yogi, so like all she does is meditate. Don't worry about her. I'm just kidding. No, go ahead.
Beautiful face adding to the aesthetic of the show.
So if you noticed, I'm quite counter opposite of Joe. I have high patience. I can listen. I can stay calm. So I am most certainly a certainty type of a person. What I feel why I like certainty, because what I realize that people aren't sad because bad thing happens to them. People become sad when bad things happen to them at uncertain times. For example, if I have to appear for an interview today and I know somebody gives me an information that, tomorrow it's going to be a power cut and just the water supply won't be there. So I will make my own arrangements that I have to go at 9 a.m. and I'll make sure that I've got my batteries charged, phone charged, and I've got extra water supply. But what if I wake up at 9 a.m.? I know that there's no power supply, no water. Somehow I get ready for the interview and I check my car's tire is flat and I just tried to call an Uber. Started raining and my phone got wet and I can't reach to the interview. Though it could be that that job wasn't good enough. It was universe signed to save me from a bad job, bad experience. But I'll still be sad that I wasn't able to make that interview because that's uncertainty in my life I wasn't expecting.
Yo,
go ahead. Yeah. So if I have certain things in my life which are certain, uncertainty is out of my control. Uncertainty will come. But if I'm making my life deliberately uncertain, then everything goes without any direction. I usually say, what I coach people on, just remember your point B, your main destination, that where you want to reach. Otherwise, every bus, every train you will take, you will reach somewhere. But you got to remember your point B.
Yo, so you just gave me like a matrix here. I just came up with this thing. Yo, that was genius. So people aren't sad when bad things happen to them. People are sad when bad things happen to them they're not expecting. Here's the matrix, right? So you have, like, on the top left, you have things we like, and on the top right you have things we don't like, and those things are fun. And then we have things we like that we're not expecting, which are good surprises, which are also welcome, like good blessings. But what is not welcome usually is things we don't like that are surprising. So surprisingly bad things, or like things like bad surprises. That's a good matrix.
I like how you broke it down. Yeah.
You see? Yeah, I can integrate too, baby. Let's go.
I love it. And it's great too, because what she just highlighted is what I like to teach a lot in yoga. It's actually the center point or focal point around suffering in yoga. It's dukkha, right? It's ignorance, not knowing what you don't know. If you know what you don't know, then of course there's ways to prepare for uncertainty, or at least in general know that it may not work out this way, which allows you to keep going. But when you don't know what you don't know, there's just absolute suffering. You're just a flag in the wind.
What do you think, Belinda?
Well, I was thinking about what you were talking about when you're kind of setting a goal or you have a desire. And I like the idea of creating the certainty. We all know about, you want to create your own certainty. You want to create your own uncertainty, because otherwise, like what she just said, you're not going to enjoy the uncertainty that comes because it's not your idea. It's the problems. I don't call it surprises, because I love surprises. So just uncertain negativity, I guess. I was thinking about, what is his name? The ultimate warrior guy. the willful warrior. Neeland, when he was talking about goal setting and what is it that you want and not limiting yourself. I did this morning. I had a situation where I was looking on the beach. Actually, yesterday I was looking on the beach for sand dollars. I don't know if you know what a sand dollar is. In Florida, I think they're more typical, but I found 3 last year together in the water with my granddaughter. We were on a little sandbar. We pick up 3, and I was trying to explain to her how unusual it is. So yesterday I was looking for them again, and this morning I was looking for them again. And then I realized, I'm like, oh wait, I want something that's really special like that. But what if I just let it go and I don't think about what the outcome is? And I let that go.
And actually, that's a sand dollar right there.
Yeah.
So I let it go. Oh, good. I'm glad you put it in the chat. I let go of the desire to find that. And I was like, all right, I just want to find something magical like that. What else could I have? And then I let go of looking for it. I just decided I would find it. And this morning when I was walking my dog, I find this yellow buoy. And now it might not sound magical to you, but this yellow buoy, an entire day for 10 hours last summer, was just, it was the focus of all of the beach's attention because nobody knew what it was. It was doing this weird thing going back and forth. It had to have come untied. It was just a buoy, but people were taking pictures of it. I shared it on Facebook, and I find it on the beach this morning. The buoy, it became detached, and I was like, look at it's floated right up to me. And I could never have said, I want to find that buoy. I wouldn't have even thought about that being the magical thing that I would find. So it was just another reminder. I know I'm kind of all over the place. It was a reminder of really like setting a goal or setting an intention. My goal is I love to find magical things because it's a reminder of there is something greater out there and we can keep getting signs and synchronicities if we're looking for them. And I couldn't have come up with that. I was so focused on, oh, I found a sand dollar. I want to find another sand dollar. And this was so much more creative. So our creator, the most imaginative.
Yeah, I was just talking about this with my coworker Kevin. Like we were out there, we were knocking on doors, like we were doing door knocking and we were selling storm restoration. And we make a lot of money per like client. So it's like, but it's just about like some homeowners are really rude. They're just like they don't want people at their door, and some people are really ghetto, and then like they'll yell at you and stuff like that. So it's like a hit or miss sometimes where like you will run into. But anyway, so sometimes door to door salesmen, like we have a certain like hesitancy sometimes to knock on a door, and just how anybody does, like who does door to door. But anyways, we were talking about the dynamics of like if we like is it better to knock more doors and play the numbers game, or sometimes if we just like go to the neighborhood and just chill, hang out, maybe talk to a neighbor, just create a good energy, talk to the other neighbor, and then just kind of like ride around, have some fun together, joke around. Eventually we could still get a sale that day, and we could get as many sales like goofing around and having fun in the neighborhood while working than we would if we just like knocked every door like, hey, da 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 da, try. Hey, da 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 da, do you want to buy this? Da 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 da, hey, you want to buy this? Hey, da da da, you want to buy this? So, what do you guys think about that? How does that manifest like in what you do?
I like what you said there, because what you did was you included one of the most important aspects of our human life, and that's play. Once we become adults, we're so adult about absolutely everything that we miss out on what we learned as a child. Play, like you said, just allowing yourself to goof about. Yeah, you've got this, goal that you want to hit in your business. But I mean, personally myself, I didn't start noticing the financial abundance in my coaching business until I started playing and making connections instead of, here, let me tell you about this thing and running through my script and everything else. I got more coaching clients. I was able to help more people with neuroscience techniques and breath work and everything else, the more I focused on the play side of it. And yes, I can still be purpose driven. I can still be focused on my business goals. However, all of that falls under the umbrella of play. Like you're here to explore, you're here to create, just like we talked about with the plan that God has for everyone. We didn't come down here to be robots and follow all of these external rules about how to be successful and all these other things. We came here to play, to experience, to create, and allow ourselves to actually create from that real purpose-filled place instead of I follow the rules one by one, I do the things, I'm a good robot, all these other things. Yeah.
Right. What like do you want to like go through life in that way? Hey, here's the instructional manual. It's like I grew up, in church. Like I went to church like 3 times a week, every week, like on Sundays in the morning, and then Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays in the evenings. We had like different types of services and stuff. And it's like, even in that environment, you could find a play. Like there were some like people that go to church and they kind of play with it, the whole thing. But there's some people who are like, I show up to church. And I pray, I sing, and then I read the Bible. I pray, I sing, and I read
their checklist, right?
Yeah,
like, okay, I did the thing. Here's my Sunday checklist. Done. I'm a good Christian.
Yeah, I'm a good Christian. It's like in Meenakshi, she's a yogi. So it's like, so what, how do you live life? So do you meditate? You do yoga? And then like, do you read like the Bhagavad Gita, whatever, this is my thing, so it's like, what is the alternative to that for these people that live like that? And then for us that, we want to play all the time, how do we stay, like effective? We're like, we're not like, going out and just like getting lost in our own creativity and playfulness.
I really liked the way that or are you asking Meenakshi to go?
Oh,
I just got a
no,
hint from what you said.
just whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brian Tracy, one of the other leaders that I consume a lot of his content. He said, well, I'll come back to what he said in a second. So in terms of, oh my gosh, I don't know why my brain is doing this. This has happened to me like the last time that I was on the call with you. I don't know why. It must be because like I was like, oh, Meenakshi was supposed to go, and then I like my really high like care for others like tapped in, and then my brain was like, nope, Sierra, you're not supposed to talk. It's Meenakshi's turn.
What?
Yeah, I think that happened to me last time too. This is like the first time that ever happened. I actually cried afterwards because I was like, babe, my brain has never blinked like this before.
You
So
cried?
crazy. Yeah, I did.
Oh
I cried
my
after.
God.
I cried after because I was like, babe, my brain blinked. I was like, I think I played it off really well, but my brain like blinked 3 times in a way that it's never happened before. I was like, that was so much brain fog. And I was like, thank God it
So
didn't happen while I was on stage.
There's 2 things that cure this. Cocaine is good. Also, creatine. Creatine is a good one. You could take creatine.
Okay,
It's
I
actually
have creatine. I'll go take that.
I was gonna say, if you have to choose, maybe go with the second C word, not the first one.
I can teach you a technique too without drugs. So always go back to the very last thing that you remember before your brain just went into brain fog. Just remember that, recall that. What was the last thing? And from there you can remember.
So what was the last thing that Joe said?
Joe said
Joe doesn't know.
no, Joe said Meenakshi does yoga and Bhagavad Gita, meditation and all that stuff. So there are points that you got to follow as rules. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, like I'm talking about like all right, so basically the way and I was bouncing off I think what Belinda said where like I think the purpose
Right.
oh no because Leland
Being a
talked
good
about
Christian.
play. Yeah, Leland talked about play, so it's like
Play. That's what.
There you go. You got it.
There you go. Spark.
I got the initial spark of the trap.
I saw it happen in your eyes. I love it. I was like, there it is.
Yeah. So with
Go,
play, with play, I find that we actually have to play to be able to sustain things long term. It has to be fun for us. Otherwise, we start losing our energy, our excitement, our passion towards it, and we fall out of love, whether that's in relationships or business, in life in general. What Brian Tracy talked about was that we'll get like 10 really amazing ideas every single day. And if we just went with one of them and actually followed it through to fruition, we could make $1 million from it, from any idea that we have on any given day. The problem is that we keep getting new ideas and we never follow through on any of them. And so there's this quote that comes from a game that my husband used to play called Civilization. And it just would pop up all of these really cool quotes all the time. So I learned all of these fun quotes. I can't tell you who said them, but they're like quotes from like great philosophers and other great minds from history. And there was one that said, strike while the iron is hot. And I learned over the last 5 years in my business that if I don't strike while the iron is hot, I don't even work on my ideas until like 3 or 4 months down the road. And I'm never as passionate as when I first got the idea when it first hit. And so I found that if I strike while the iron is hot, that intuitive hit that we get, it's coming from our subconscious. Our subconscious is picking up on nuances that we don't even realize consciously and why it's going to work. And so if we will just strike while the iron is hot and take action steps to make that move forward and just go with one idea per day, one of the really cool ideas per day. And so going back to what we were talking about earlier, I believe that it's nice to have a container if you're someone who's more like water and you're more like flow. It's nice to have some kind of a container because it gives you the opportunity to have freedom. So if you were to have whatever brushing your teeth looks like in your business to make sure that your business sustains. So, maybe it's making strategic sales conversations happen every single day. So you make sure that that's your brushing your teeth activity that you do without fail. And if you can automate it, even better, because then it doesn't have to be dependent on you. But you have your brushing your teeth activities. That's enough of a container to give you the freedom to like follow through on those ideas, right? So to strike while the iron is hot. And I started doing that this year. And every single time that I've had a really big intuitive hit for something that goes completely outside of what my mentor said to do, and I'm like, you know what? F it. I'm just going to do it. And I just started doing it. That's when I hit my first 50K month in collected revenue in my business, was following one of those intuitive hits that was completely outside of what my mentor said to do. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do whatever I want. Like, I was like, I'm tired of doing this. Let me just do the things that I've wanted to do forever. I'm just going to do it. And I did it. And within a few days, I'd like all of that 50K I collected within 1 week, and it's like, if you can collect it within 1 week, why can't you turn that into every week,
Love that.
That's $1 million. plan.
Yes, I love that. And you said something too that I really work with a lot of people on is intuitive hits, right? That intuition, we all ignore it so often, even myself. And we can think of a time where you're like, should have listened to that inner voice, because if I did, I wouldn't be dealing with this, or I wouldn't have missed out on this. And it's funny because a lot of us, we don't realize that this thing is actually main brain. This is brain number one. 80 to 90% of the signals move afferently. They go from the heart to the brain, not the opposite way around. So there's 40,000 neurons on the backside of your heart. What we notice through a lot of research is the heart itself actually can pick up on signals 7 to 12 seconds before the brain even knows. So allowing yourself again to be in that play space like we're talking about allows you to stay tuned in to this thing, allows you to stay tuned into that natural intuitive hit that'll hit you. And then the more that you can feed into that process, then your intuition just continues to grow. And of course, you'll be rewarded for following it over and over again.
Okay, good question here. Does play equal flow? A play state, is it a flow state?
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the, Andrew Huberman talks about this, one of my favorite neuroscientists to follow, also tenured professor at University of Florida, where I'm studying for my master's, Dr. Gordon Mitchell, same thing. When you watch children, they are constantly in a flow state. They are never once in a decision-making state. Yeah, they have to make decisions, but even their decisions are based on play. They're based on flow and intuition, like what feels good to me next. I'm going to do that. So whenever we tune into that process, that's literally the way you can find and exit, enter and exit the flow state at will. It's one of the things that I teach actually is the 1 month day. And it takes a little bit to teach people. Like I'm in a 12-week class called Awaken the Warrior Within right now that I teach. And that's literally a whole month worth of the teaching is how to tune into that play, how to tune back into your intuition and allow yourself to build these little sections for yourself. Everybody tries to conquer the whole mountain all at once, but that's not how you eat an elephant. You have to eat an elephant one bite at a time. So that's one of the things that you can program back into yourself. Find that play, and you'll find the flow state naturally.
Yeah, this is a good framework right here, because everybody's like, the flow state is a very attractive state. Like everybody's like, how do I get to the flow state? How do I get to like this concentration? And it's like, if the answer is just play with it.
Exactly. If you're trying to do a step 1, step 2, step 3, you're never going to find flow, because flow is not a robotic, step-by-step process. It's literally feeling your way into whatever situation, taking your beliefs, your thoughts, and everything else, and just allowing yourself to flow right into that state.
That's why when I worked jobs in the past, it's like the manager or whoever be like, hey, you do this, but say, so like, why are you overcomplicating? Like, why are you trying to do like, here's the process. You do this and this. And I'm like, I want to do it from the end first. I want to start at the end and then move back to the beginning. Or I want to start in the middle and then I want to go there, go around this. I'm like, I don't like this whole thing where it's like, you got to do it. Even when I write songs on my own, like I'm writing a song and then I'll write like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. And then I'll start reciting it from the last one. And then the other one, boom, boom, boom. And then it sounds better when I reverse it. So then I'll do that. And then I'll start the second verse from like the beginning. And then that sounds good from the beginning. But the other one, sometimes it sounds better from the end. So it's just playing with it. Like that's the engaging part is the play.
That's how I write copy for social media.
What?
That's how I edit copy for social media.
Boom.
It's one of the
I
things
love
I
it.
do. Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, some of the best copywriters I know are very like playful, flow-worthy individuals. So that's awesome you do that.
Yeah. So you write down like, okay, let's start here. Write a line, write a second line, write a third line. And then you get this line. And sometimes like you write all these lines and then these are all crap. And then you get to a 11th line and this is good. And then like, okay, I can use this. But then now this is where it starts. You start here. And then sometimes like this becomes the theme. This becomes the topic. Like you started out thinking this is gonna be the theme. This is gonna be the title. But then like you start writing and then this becomes a title. So it's like you put this up here.
It's kind of like how when you ask somebody a question, it's always a surface level answer. at the beginning and you have to dig deeper. And that's essentially what's happening as you're writing. It's like you start with, I'm going to write a song about this because you're like, you have an energy or an emotion where you're passionate about it. You're like, I'm going to write a song about this, or I'm going to write a post about this, or I'm going to do a training about this. And then as you go deeper. And as you go deeper, then the thing that it's really about, like the ultimate purpose, if we want to go back to that word from the beginning, the ultimate purpose like reveals itself and you're like, that's what it's about. And it just hit.
Love that.
It slaps.
And then you're like, cool, what are some really easy phrases that everyone says all the time? And let's go throw that into the music.
Right, because you could make a good song by just like, copying like another song, boom, 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 word for word, or like, just change some words around. That's what 50 Cent did. 50 Cent talks about this openly. He's like, when I did like this song, I just copied from Nelly and I like, I just rewrote it and, but the theme of it was the same. So he basically just like successful artists copy from each other and then just reword it and then repackage it and regurgitate it. Boom. And now it's a hit song. Like
there's
a hit
entire
song.
YouTube series that dive into all of that, like the copying of imagery for the music videos, the copying of the tune of the songs, the copying of the lyrics, and how they're almost identical. And it's like, this one was already a hit, so if we make another one that sounds just like it, it's just entering the thoughts that are already in people's mind. They already love the tune, so they're going to love this one too. And sometimes they're going to resonate with it more because it's different lyrics that make more sense for them.
Yes, Bill Gates and Sam Walton are cloners. Bill Gates, like all his programs, Microsoft Word, all the programs that are the most popular, he copied in from other companies that he either acquired or that they were in competition with him. He put that in. Sam Walton, the wealthiest family in the world, Sam Walton, what he did, he studied like all kinds of grocery stores all over the world, everywhere he went. He studied the retail stores. Like, what is this company doing that works? Boom, cloning. And then that was his play. That he probably found a way to make that playful, like a game. Like, it's like, oh, let's stop at this grocery store. Let me see what they have. Let me see what you got. What you got over here that I don't have? Let me just copy
on a side note, there's a few books on gamification, and I don't think that there's any really great books on gamification yet. And so if like somebody on this call is really into gamification and wants to write that book, really open opportunity for that.
I've noticed. Yeah, I've noticed. And to your point, the so far from everything I've read, the person that gets closest to the mark is Adam Grant. If you read Hidden Potential, The Science of Achieving Greater Things, he goes way past gamification and takes it into scaffolding and all of these different things that I use on the psychology and neuroscience side of things. But you're right, he kind of opens it up. But if somebody wrote the book on like gamification, how it can help, and taking it past gamification like he does in that book, you'll love it. It's so relatable, and you can find so many ways to help people, whether it's what I do, whether it's occupational therapy, whatever it is. Gamification play. It's where it's at. It is.
Is this a collaboration invitation, Sierra?
It could be.
Are you volunteering a collaboration here, or are you just saying that somebody should do it? Like, let me get a clarification here.
I'm open to, like, if people want to do something, I'm open to it. I don't have all the answers for sure. It's definitely like, I don't know. I haven't really liked collective books other than the Chicken Soup for the Soul one. The Chicken Soup for the Soul ones, where it shares all those really cool stories that are inspirational, I think are super fun. But other than that, the ones where people do collaborations on like ideas for business, I think that there's just so much lost in there because like there's not really my audience doesn't know you. And so if I just present you to my audience as like, well, half the book's going to be written by this other person, well, it loses its value to my audience, and vice versa. Like your audience doesn't know me. And so you can bring me into a book, and a book is a very finite thing as opposed to like for one training or something. I think it loses its impact. And so I think that it could be good, but it would have to be like collectively advertised and built up to. And I don't think most people who do collaborative books do a good job of that.
Yep, I'm with you. I've noticed that. I just co-authored a book, and thankfully they have all that stuff like wired down, and it's a lot of inspirational material and stuff. But yeah, it's a whole different thing co-authoring a book. I think to your point, like what we're doing here would be way more effective on that side of things, like some sort of interactive course where all of us were talking about it type of thing versus
a course could be great. A course could be great. A course with different leaders on different pieces of it could be great. That could be great.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
So it begins right now. It begins right now. This is the beginning here. So basically, basically it's a book and a course on, and then so let's say like you said not so, but let's say course and a manual on gamifications and stories about gamification or finding play.
I think to be really effective, for me, I've read a lot of books and I do a lot of audiobook. To be really effective, it needs to have very actionable frameworks.
Yeah.
And then it also needs to have longevity. It needs to be philosophical frameworks that can be easily adapted. And that's what I've recognized just out of all of I've helped more than 350 people to build out their high ticket offers, which are programs that include coursework of some sort. And so to be really effective on the back end and something that people love and then want to share about, it has to have something that they can easily have baby steps to go through. And then it also, on the flip side of that, like it needs to be something that they can do very easily and quickly, and something that they're going to want to share with other people. Like as soon as they do it, like, wow, this was so good, you need to see this. And so I do love the transformational aspect. So mindset transformation, it needs that piece. And then it also needs the actual or action steps. Dr. Benjamin Hardy wrote a book last year or the year before, 10x is easier than 2x. And I found in reading the book that I read through the first few chapters and I wanted to have action steps immediately. And I didn't realize that the way he set up the book, because he didn't pre-frame anybody for it, was that all the action steps were at the end. So by the time I went through the first half of the book, I was already implementing everything you said with my own action steps of things that I'd learned in the past. And by the time I got to his, I was like, oh, his aren't as good as mine. So I didn't even read the second half of the book, really. I mean, I went through it, but I just didn't follow through on his action steps because I already had done my own. And so I think like we have to always give people some kind of action along with the transformation. And I think my favorite framework came from Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins when I was in their ABB like 5 or 6 years ago. It was hook, story, close is how they did it. But I like story, 3 teaching points with action steps, and then close. And that's how I've structured all of my lives for the last 5 years. Yeah. I always like prep. Sometimes it's 5 minutes before I go in live and do a training. Sometimes it's like days before or weeks before, but it's the hook, the story, 3 teaching points with actual action steps, and usually with quotes from other people so that it's not just me telling them to do it. It's 3 other really famous people that they know telling them to do it. And then whatever we do is the closing to get them to take whatever action step we want them to take.
I like, okay, so adding the gamification into the learning of gamification. So adding the play into the learning of play.
Yeah, absolutely. And then she highlighted like one of the biggest things, because I was studying under Tony and Dean as well, and I've structured my lives exactly the same way you do, and there's so much more buy-in from my clients because they have practical application and all these steps they can act. Oh, okay, cool. This isn't just an ideal. Like he's telling me how I can actually shift it in my life, how I can actually make a change in my life versus this is a really cool idea. Maybe one day I could do it.
And I've started seeing the value of just giving people one really clear action to take for every single training. And I'm starting to shift and lean more towards that now, just because if we give them too many things, people tend to get overwhelmed. And even if you're having them take the action right away and they're taking the action with you, they're like, okay, I already did a lot of things. And so now they want to wait and see how all of the things played out. And it's too much for them to keep up with. I've noticed.
Yeah.
And so now it's like,
yeah, it's like when I have a podcast here and like this recorded, but like the recording actually comes out in like probably like 3 or 4 weeks from now. So like I've had people like they won't want to like engage until they see it come out. You know, it's like, okay, let me see the first one first, and then we'll see how it comes out. And like, so it's like that's a similar scenario there where like they want to see the outcome of what they did. And then in the beginning, like I was pushing them out quicker. But then it's a lot to edit. So like the editor, it's lagging a little bit, so, but yeah, it's a similar thing. Okay, well, let's summarize and let's bring it in. So we got to gamification and playfulness from the topic, which was purpose or the driving force. Like we went from like Tony Robbins and like his CD6 driving force, the rules, and then like playing the rules. But I think if we're gonna sum it up, like it's like we got the rules, and then we have the like our own style that we can use, which the style of action we can do, which in this case would be playfulness, or like having an enjoyment of doing the rules. There are things we have to do. If we don't do them, we die, and we get fucked up teeth, and like we whatever. But then now, how, like, can we do these things in a way that are enjoyable to us? And then I think that's where we need to end here. So let's do some final words on that right there.
Love it. Sierra, I'll let you take this one first.
Oh yeah, only brush the teeth you want to keep.
Oh, I love it.
But what if, okay, if we're gonna use that analogy to like, other stuff that are intangible and like practical, but like that are abstract, like actions and stuff, how do we choose which kind of teeth we want to keep? Like, sometimes when it comes to abstract things that we do, like sometimes we don't need to keep all our teeth.
Yeah, that's true. Only brush the teeth you want to keep. So, like, I had my youngest kid ended up having to get 8 silver caps when he was a baby. Like, his teeth just started breaking down. We didn't know why. We thought maybe it was he had fever for like 2 or 3 days straight and started having febrile seizures when he was younger, and we thought that might have affected his teeth growth. And so I was okay with him getting silver caps instead of getting tooth colored caps because I knew he was going to lose those teeth and they were just baby teeth. And sometimes we have baby teeth and we just need to be okay with letting them go. And so only brush the teeth you want to keep, meaning don't put all your time and attention into things that you have no intention of keeping 5 to 10 years down the road.
Wow. And when you're first starting something like a new project, you're gonna have your baby teeth and then you need to let those go. I was talking to Belinda and Meenakshi earlier, and like when this community that I'm building here, there were people in the beginning that are not with me now, because like those were baby teeth and they're gone.
Yeah. I was talking with somebody last night after an event, and she was like, she needed to cry, and I just listened. And she essentially was telling me about a friendship that she's still grieving and that she just recently lost, and it's hurting. And it's one of my friends that I'm still friends with. And I was like, oh. But in her tears, one of the things that I hopefully was able to share with her is that we have seasonal friends and then we have lifelong friends. And sometimes we feel like our seasonal friends are a lifelong friend. And so there's things that come into our life seasonally, and then there's lifelong things, and we grieve. And my husband told me a long time ago, and it was really helpful for me, it's okay to grieve and still succeed.
That's powerful. In fact, the grieving process is a beautiful process. So when you don't let yourself grieve, then what are you doing? You're sticking in on that thing that you lost. And then that's all you think about is the thing that you lost.
All the mental bandwidth.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So you're stuck in that grieving process because you're not letting yourself move through it. I love that. And you said something super powerful that mixes in with the play side of things. We just have to remember that people, things, everything. This is another thing where yoga helps me really remember the yoga of life, is that everything is constantly in flux. Impermanence, not detachment. Impermanence is the practice that will keep you sane and on track more often than not. Just recognize everything in life, including yourself, including this body, is temporary. It is not meant to be permanent. And then in that way, you can allow yourself to recognize that things and people, they come into our life for lessons, a reason, or just a season. Sometimes they're not there to be a permanent thing or fixture in your life. So when we can focus on that, then we can allow ourselves to, like Bruce Lee said, be like water. Just flow. Allow yourself to play. Stop being so rigid. Don't put this box around yourself. You're putting yourself in this prison. You're putting yourself in this cage. And then when it doesn't happen the way that you see it, or perceive things as are going to happen, you fail. And it's a constant blow to your schema, to your subconscious mind, which then promotes you to not want to do that anymore. And now you've fallen off of your purpose because it's not something that you love. So yeah, I think allowing yourself to really flow with it, tune into your heart more than ever. Tune into your heart. If you can just literally sit there for 3 to 5 minutes, breathe evenly, act like you have nostrils right over your heart at the center point of your chest, and just breathe nice and even 5 to 6 seconds in, 5 to 6 seconds out, and just let yourself regulate. That heart brain comes right back on. And then the next step, even in a process that maybe is a little tough because you lost something went awry or wrong, even then, it's easier to deal with. It's easier to flow and just allow yourself to move through these processes.
When I first, I'll end with this. When I first started this, I was just looking for an enjoyable way to create content. I don't want to talk to a screen by my own and teach. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's doing that. So what I said was, I'd rather have conversations. So this serves, like, it fulfills my needs, where I'm connecting with new people, and I'm sifting through people, see who wants to be a part of my inner circle. And then at the same time, I'm making content. At the same time, I'm growing something and I'm creating something. I'm being creative. At the same time, like, it meets all my needs in one. And then, but the trap I fell into before when I started my other groups was that I would get like fixated on a process. And then I was inflexible. And then what happened there was like that it became like a task to do every day, and it wasn't enjoyable anymore. And then like now it's like I was losing sleep over it, and it was stressful. and then people wanted this and and it just became like a nightmare instead of like what I originally intended. It was like for growth and something to serve or whatever. It didn't become that. So now it's like, all right, well, there are things that are gonna happen. People are gonna want certain things, but it's like the core of it is just to create content and play and meet people, and then whatever comes out of that, right? You know, it's that they say that in order to be successful on YouTube or whatever, you need about 5 years of content. Like you create consistently for about 5 years. So that's my goal. It's just to make it enjoyable enough to last 5 years. And that's
Way to
it.
do it, man.
That's the only goal. So when people are like, hey, what is this? Like, what is the purpose of this? Like, I get tons of questions like this all the time. It's like, but can you tell me like what is your goal? Like, what are you? I'm like, yo, my goal is to last. That's it.
I like it. I like it. And that's why you're going to continue to be successful, because you didn't create a cage around yourself. It's all a fun process of growth.
Exactly. Meenakshi, last words. What do you think?
It's so amazing to see you guys talking, because I actually was thinking about a lot of things lately. I went to a 3 days boot camp and it was quite transformational, and everything makes a lot of sense while you were talking. So if I just tell you what I was thinking while you guys were talking. So when we synthesize nanoparticles in our lab, there are only two ways we can do it. Either we can take a bigger material and just grind it until we get those nanoparticles, or we can, that's called bottom down approach, or we can do a top up approach. We take smaller particles and just work on them. You've got to keep stirring it and use right proportions. You get very fine particles when you pursue this bottom-up approach. When you do this bottom-up approach, you get really fine particles. But what's the problem? Those particles are highly reactive. So you need to make sure you cap them at the right stage so that you can retain them. Otherwise, an Oswald ripening process happens, meaning those smaller particles will attach with each other and make a bigger particle. So now it's no more a nanoparticle. So what happens is, why I'm sharing this is that's how we build something. Either we create something from smaller, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, or just become a part of something bigger and then create a smaller group from there. Because of two things that I could gauge, that our brain is basically not designed for fulfillment. Our nervous system is wired for familiarity, which is why copying music works, because it is familiar to the audience. They are really adaptive. And I just had a conversation with a guy yesterday. He used to work on radio. He told me that how stand-up comedian builds their new piece. If they have to write 1 hour of content, what they will do, they will write 5 minutes of content, mix it with the already present content, and put them in between. And that 5 minutes of content that they will have put, they will take feedback. If it lands right, they will go back and again write 5 minutes of content, put it in the already existing. And if it is liked by audience, they will write another 5 minutes. So that's how they write their content. Because if I am creating something new, there are only two things that can happen. Either it will it will top the charts, people will like it, or people will reject it. But again, I have put in my hard work, money is involved, recording is involved, time is involved. So copying something which already exists works for us because of the familiarity that we are wired for. And also, one of the human need is always connection. We are beings who, so if I have to talk about 3 vital organs that humans have, are like your heart and lungs, which everyone knows, but also there are your thighs. Why your thighs? Because we were meant to socialize, we were meant to interact, and for us to interact, we had to walk to places. So also, if people have weaker thigh muscles, they are more likely to die because of not able to socialize. So one of the need is connection.
Bigger thigh muscles? That means your thigh, like thigh?
Yeah.
Thick thighs.
Yes.
Thick thighs save
Yes,
lives.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes. If you have weaker quad muscles, you're more likely to die earlier.
Thick thighs don't save lives then.
Not thick, but yes, functional, muscular.
Functional. There we go. I like that.
Yeah, you're able to walk on your legs. You're
Also,
not bedridden.
So thick thighs do save lives.
Don't quote me on
They
this.
can.
I'm just telling you they're important.
Well, thank you everybody for joining. The topic for next week is thick thighs. I've seen that.
Oh my God. You won't believe I went to an event on September 6th. A female did entire speech on like the thick thighs and thigh clap and how
Stop
she
it.
became.
Really? Really?
Stop it.
Okay. All right. Next week, thick thigh.
And you should have 0 women on that call because that would just make it even better.
Yeah, because you're gonna turn them all off anyways with that messaging.
Nah.
Nah, man. What are you talking about, man? They gonna love it. They gonna love it, man.
That's hilarious. That's funny. Oh my god.
All right, but final thoughts, Leland, Sierra.
I already gave mine. We're
Yeah,
good.
same.
I'm good.
Same. I think Menashe brought it home. That was a perfect grand slam.
He's the Grand Slam. Yes. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining in. Like, we will see you guys on the next one.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to the Zoom.
Adios.
Yeah, yeah. Step in, wipe your feet, this a focus zone. White belt tied tight, but my mind fully grown. Bow to the moment, sensei say be here. I silence the noise, make the vision real clear. Phone face down, I don't scroll, I don't slip. While they thumb through distractions, I sharpen the grip. One target, one flame, let it burn in the dark.